I'll talk about a mystery that's remained since 1959, the Dyatlov Pass incident, one of the utmost suspicious mysteries. It's a case of some Russian hikers killed at what they called Dyatlov Pass. Now, this wasn't just a bunch of youngsters that going out there hiking. This was experienced. Now, these 10 people weren't just college students out for a ruckus or having fun in the snow. They were experienced skiers. They were long-distance ski and touring experience, and they were participating in this trip to earn a certification for advanced ski touring and mountaineering. So they weren't rookies. They've been out. They've been about. They've been in rough areas. They've been in snow. They've been in high winds. They were prepared, and they all wanted to be there. No one's twisted their arm to be there. On February the 1st, the group, they started ascending toward the pass. They were kind of disoriented because it was a hell of a snowstorm. And unfortunately, in this snowstorm, which was intense, quite intense, you could barely see, they ended up going in the wrong direction. Eventually, after a bit of a time, they figured out they're going in the wrong direction and decided they better just make camp where they were and let this storm hopefully pass and then get their bearings and proceed in the morning. Now, during that night, one of the hikers passed away. It was extremely high altitude. It was winter. It was not uncommon that if they weren't properly prepared to head into the high altitude where they experience reduction in oxygen pressures and then get into an extreme storm. It's unfortunate, but the person did pass away. Now, 6 days after they set out for this journey, a search team found the group's tent. They just didn't find a normal tent. Found it was quite strange. The tent was abandoned. It was cut open from the inside. The inhabitants' clothing and their shoes and everything was scattered around. There were at least 9 sets of footprints. Some were barefooted, some in socks. Some only had one shoe. It was a disarray of strange footprints all around this camp. Now, a mile from the camp at the edge of the forest beneath a tree, they found the bodies, 2 of the individuals. The strange thing is these individuals were wearing only underwear. Next to the remains of a small campfire that was out there, they found broken branches, perhaps indicated that the tree had been climbed by one of the hikers, maybe in an effort to hide, to get away from something, or to get up to get a better spot to view where they were, try and get their bearings. No one's quite sure exactly what happened. The investigators continued on. They found the bodies of the other individuals in a group, half buried under the snow. It appears that these particular individuals had been with the other 2 at the forest edge, and they died on their way back to camp. They died similarly, and neither of them were dressed for the weather that they were in. Something terrible spooked this group, and they had to go just as they were. No protective clothing. Their underwear. Some didn't even have both socks on. Some didn't even have both shoes on. Helter-skelter kind of a night. After the snow had stopped and things started to melt, they found 4 more from the group. Now, they were wearing winter clothing. Yet the clothing didn't appear to be their own clothing. Now, these individuals did not appear to be passing away due to the exposure. No, it looked like these individuals had blunt force trauma. Some of the investigators said seemed to appear the violence that would done to their body as if they had been in a severe car crash. They had massive skull trauma, chest fractures, rather bizarre, totally bizarre, out of this world scene. Something crushed them extremely violently, yet left no marks on their skin. Everyone tried to figure out the common sense, the gist of what happened. You're in a tent to protect yourself during a snowstorm. You run away from this tent, you cut your way out of the tent, you run through the snow with no shoes, and then you eventually, probably due to hypothermia, they say eventually you start to feel a burning sensation. So this would probably explain why they peeled off their clothes. The experts had decided that it was due to a compelling natural force. What particular force of nature did this in this manner, and what would it take to make Mother Nature, which part of Mother Nature provided this force? Was it a tree, the ground, a rock, an animal? Compelling natural force.
How about a compelling unnatural force? That's my guess.
compelling unnatural force. No one is determined that. So at this point, we're going to leave the Dyatlov Pass. Thank you so very much for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, share with like-minded friends, and please feel free to leave a comment. Take care, everyone.